Okay, to start off today, we're playing this black-green Constrictor deck. It's been updated with some new cards from Dominaria. We've got Llanowar Elves, which allows you a lot of more explosive starts. And we've got Adventurous Impulse, which just improves the consistency of the deck, lets you find the creatures you need to get some of the cool synergies going, lets you help pair the Constrictor with the Ballista. And because we're playing Llanowar Elves, the deck also runs a lot of Gearhulks, which is a card that's kind of fallen out of favour in the Snake decks up until now. But it's so good with Elves because you have a random creature to dump the counters on from the Gearhulk. So that sounds really exciting. Someone's been 5-0ing with this list, so it's clearly working for whoever's been 5-0ing with it. And I kind of wanted to give it a try. I haven't played a Winding Constrictor deck in quite a while. The only thing I'm not excited about is there's no Blossoming Defences in this deck. I feel like Blossoming Defense is a card that works really well with Llanowar Elves, because you quite often end up with the extra mana and can hold it up really easily. But regardless, I'm very excited to give this list a try. We've got the turn 2 Constrictor here, so this is definitely a keep. The Constrictor into potentially a Jade Light Ranger, which will end up really big off the Constrictor adding extra counters. Hey there, Captain. Hope you're doing okay. Alright, and now with the Contempt, we have a really nice curve this game. This opponent's probably on like red-green mid-range. Ooh, they're on Dinosaurs. They revealed a Raptor Hatchling to this Fund Herd migration. They're on Naya Dinosaurs. Potentially ramping and using something like this to buy time, maybe? The free from the hatchling lines up pretty well against this. But hopefully we get to do some explosive things with the snake. Ripjaw Raptor's a big one. Oh sweet. Yeah, this deck looks like a lot of fun. I've not really played a Constrictor deck in quite a while. I don't know if this is the right list, but I wanted to try it out because I feel like this just makes the deck a lot more consistent at assembling pieces together. We can't kill the Raptor here. If we had the 4th mana we would. I kind of just want to play out another Constrictor. We can Impulse and Constrictor in the same turn, which seems reasonable. Ooh, there's a Siphoner and a Ballista. This Ballista looks really nice with these Constrictors. Yeah, for sure. Not being able to play Hidana's Climb is a bit sad. I still wanted to try this list out though. I feel like we take the Ballista. The Siphon is a really nice play off this Constrictor though. We threaten to start drawing cards next turn. And we kind of want to like potentially Contempt next turn anyway. I'm going to take the Siphoner. I think we're just happy running out the Siphoner instead of a second snake. We get the extra energy of the Constrictor to threaten to draw a card. Yeah, their reptile is quite big, Captain. Quite big. It's been a while since I've seen this card in play. I guess Dinosaurs has acquired the lands could help. The lands that come in, like the extra fixing. But also there's the new 5/5 for 4 that can fight things that seems really good. Just gonna take 4 here. Gonna have to deal with this at some point, but 4 mana. Is this a Ballista of their own? No, it's 5. Okay, this is ramping up to potentially Zakama territory. We do not feel well equipped to deal with Zakama, if that's what they're playing. And it would make sense them like ramping so high off the Aura from us. Yeah, for sure. The amount of Settle and Fumigate decks running around could be problematic for this deck, I feel like. Kind of just... Do we care about the 4/5? It's just going to get in another hit and that's fine. I'm more worried about like a Zakama, but I feel like if they resolve a Zakama, we probably can't win. Huh. I guess I'm just going to cast a couple more snakes and build up to this Jade Light. And like potentially have a huge Jade Light next turn. I am a tiny bit scared at the moment. Oh, I should have played the Ether Hub. I was worried about missing out on an energy because of having to tap it for coloured mana for a Constrictor afterwards, but we would have had 2 energy then for the Siphoner, which would let us draw a card next turn. It's fine though, we're probably still just doing this next turn anyway. We're going to take 4. Yeah, we would have gone second Constrictor, play this, and it takes us up to 3 and back down to 2 for this, which means we get to draw a card. Right, at some point we have to deal with these. It might just be at the point where we just accept we can't beat Azakama and have to like contempt pretty soon. Although the Jade Light range is going to be huge. Yeah, it's going to be really hard to punch through for sure. We're going to have to use like a Ballista to kill our opponent. I'm going to Jade Light and then I'm going to Siphoner. I could contempt this turn, but I'm going to hope that Jade Light can like tackle some of these things in combat. Ooh, a Ballista sounds wonderful. So now we have a 10-9. And we can get down the Siphoner. So we're threatening to draw loads of cards next turn. Plan A, let's go. Ballista for 20, it doesn't seem that unrealistic at the moment. Like 2 mana makes 4/4, and then 4 mana puts another 4 counters on it. Ballista does not deal with Raptor very well, but currently we can block Raptor pretty well. That was strange. Opponent was considering attacking. 3 mana creature tackles Zakama. It does. We're probably still dead to a Zakama regardless, but... Oh, they only have the Raptor Hatchling in hand though as their final card. And now we get to draw like a million cards off Siphoner. Oh my god. Okay. Huh. So we're gonna cast our Rishka. Or do we cast the Ballista first so we can put counters on it from the Rishka? That sounds better. Cast our Ballista. Merfolk Eldrazi. That's a good description of the Jade Light right now. Okay, let's cast the Rishka. Put a counter on... I want this Jade Light Ranger to be able to block. So I'm probably not... I guess if I put it on 2 of these, then I can hold up the activation on the Ballista. Which sounds pretty good. And we get like a couple huge snakes. And their board is just no way able to cope with this. And hopefully we can kill them with Ballista pretty fast. Might even be next turn. We go end of turn, put 4 counters on. It's 8. Untap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we have Lethal next turn with Ballista pings. So we're just going to pass the turn and hope we survive the next one. We could be attacking here, I guess. But I feel like if we untap, we just win the game. I don't want to like let them have extra draws towards the Karma if possible. Awesome. Yeah, for sure, Captain. I could see, like, Climb does seem amazing. I agree with you there. That game was very silly. The triple Constrictor draw was so dumb. What do we want against Dinos? I'm almost not sure we want any of this. Like, I feel like none of this stuff does anything. The duresses deal with like Hour Promise and potentially sweepers, but I'm not sure if Fatal Pushes do much either. All their small dinos aren't very scary to us. Like even the Ripjaw Raptor we managed to go over the top of pretty easily. And we've got like Chupacabras to kill some of their stuff. I actually just boarding 0 cards. I wouldn't hate some duresses for sweepers. I could see them having like, they had a bunch of white sources. They could even have like Sweltering Suns or Fumigates or Settles on the board. Could they have Solemnity? We don't. They could. I'd be a bit surprised if that's still seeing play at the moment. There's not that much energy running around, but they could have. I'm kind of inclined just to like swap a push for a duress and then run this back and just be super focused and consistent. This is probably fine. I just don't think we have to board much in this matchup. I think we just want to be really consistent at what we're doing, rather than diluting our game plan. This hand is Dreamy. Turn 1 Elf. I guess where we go with this depends on what we draw. Ideally we want to get the Constrictor down before this stuff, but if we find an Ether Hub, could play Siphoner onto you. We'll just have to see what comes off the top. Oh my gosh, Nucleo, thank you so much for that subscription. It's the best way to support the stream, and I really appreciate the support. Everyone, spread some hearts in chat to celebrate Nucleo joining us. That's so awesome. That's such a great start to the day, jeez. So I know I could be mana efficient and cast the Ranger. I kinda want to lead with the Snake though. It lets us do dumb things next turn. Doing dumb things sounds great. It's possible the Snake just dies, but if we untap, we're in an amazing position. Snake into Rishka, yeah. I think we're just playing the Snake here and accepting we're not getting much value out of our Llanowar Elf, but that's still fine. Like, if we untap with this, we just, like, are miles ahead. Yeah, the upside is amazing, Nucleo, for sure. It's a Ballista, it's another Thunderhead. The way it makes them pay the extra cost always makes me think it's... It always makes me think it's a Ballista. They could have a Fumigate next turn, which is scary. But I think I just want to... I think I'm not well equipped to play against Fumigate. I guess I could just play Rishka and attack with these two, and that would play fine against Fumigate. And that we'd still have like 2 things left to deploy afterwards. And if they don't have a Fumigate, we're probably just miles ahead. I kinda like that. Kinda like that. Kill them, dead people can't Fumigate. This is an excellent point. I think I'm just gonna do this. Just like, put on some pressure. It's kind of awkward that the Llanowar Elves becomes the counters on the Llanowar Elves becomes redundant fast, but yeah, Smork, for sure. Just get them dead. There's the Hash of Oasis. There's the Hour Promise. Alright. They're growing their mana over there. They didn't have a second white source to find. I'm just going to assume they don't have Fumigate now, since they didn't like find a second white source. So I can play the Constrictor. I'm definitely attacking by 4/5 this turn. So I can play the Constrictor, maybe just play the Siphoner, so I can start drawing cards. Then I can even swing with my 3/3. If it trades off with a zombie, that just clears the way for my other creatures to attack more easily. They have 7 mana, so they can't Zakama next turn. Yeah, I think I'm just going to attack with both of these and play the Siphoner. You'd expect Sweltering Suns and maybe Hour of Devastation. That could make sense, yeah. Luckily, Sweltering of Suns doesn't do much here. Hour of Devastation would be upsetting. They're keeping... yeah, they're trading with this instead of getting the elves off the table, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure what that means. I think you'd want to get the 3/3 off the table. Especially since this is legendary and we could have a backup. Ooh, so they can now kill the 3/3. Yeah, if they're trading like that, you don't think they have suns? They'd probably like chump block if they had suns, right? To buy a bunch of time. So I can just contempt this, attack with everything, and they die? I think they die. Killing them's kind of great. I'm a fan of killing my opponents. I almost said I'm a fan of killing people, and that would sound really bad. So I didn't say that, but... right. That was an easy start to the league. Easy 2-0. There's an argument I don't develop the board more since what I had is enough. That's reasonable. I figured, like, because they didn't find a second white, they probably don't have suns. I guess Hour of Devastation would be a problem. But, no, Hour of Devastation wasn't really on my mind. I haven't seen that card in forever. Death to our enemies. Ooh, this hand's nice. Not very explosive, but we're going to have turn 3 Chupacabra, turn 4 Gearhawk. Like, even if they kill our Llanowar Elves, we'll still have that because we have a backup. Yeah, I guess the fear is if they're on a control deck. This hand is very weak against control. Good point, well made, Phil. Right, let's attack for 1, play our other elf. Hope our opponent does not have white cards in their deck as well. If they're on like blue-white, could be in trouble. Mono sweepers deck. I guess I have to cast the Gearhawk. I can't just not put pressure on the board. If it gets Essence Scattered, that's really heartbreaking. But we have to cast our threats. Syncopate, sure. Please no Essence Scatter one time. They did not have the Essence Scatter that one time. Your request was fulfilled. Like, they probably have almost no creatures in their deck. They could be on Flash, I guess. If they're on Flash, just casting this out is really embarrassing. But if they're on blue-white control, we probably just need the 2/2 in play. Like, they could be on Approach, and if they're on Approach, getting the 2/2 in play makes sense. I guess I just have to cast this. If they're on Flash, it's really embarrassing, but if they're on any of the other blue-white variants, we just want our 2/2 in play. And Syncopate isn't played in all the Flash lists, whereas it's played in like most of the Control and Approach lists, so I think I'm just going to cast my Bear. Llanowar Elf trading with a seal away is like the smallest victory. Alright, get to swing for free. Opponent's missing lands. We kind of need them to keep missing lands, but if they do, then maybe we get there. Yeah, the lands are kind of real, for sure. If an opponent keeps missing these land drops. Okay, okay. So Syncopate would be for 2, so we can just do it like this. If she gets countered, that's kind of sad, but we have to cast our threats, try and put more pressure on our opponent. Yeah. Gonna hold the Ether Hub, because a Constrictor could give us an extra energy later. 4 Knights of Malice in the sideboard. Flawless plan. Oh my god. I don't want to live in a world where Knight of Malice is a good card in Standard. Have we drawn 1 spell this game? It was just the Jade Light Ranger. I'm almost at the point of scooping. I just kind of want to... Yeah, that's a Fumigate. Cool, cool. Let's move on. You think I'm joking? I kind of think you're joking. They're good against the COAs, I guess. They're good against the COAs. Right, let's bring in some Duresses. Let's bring in some Brontodons. I'm not convinced Scoundrel's like that good. It's just gets hit by Seal Away really easily, and they have like Syncopate. So possible we don't bring these in. Fatal Push comes out. Chupacabras seem quite bad. I don't mind having... I guess we need some answers to Lyra, right? We need some answers to Lyra. You think we might still want it? Maybe. It's like making room for it as part of the thing. I guess we don't want these Llanowar Elves because they run into Fumigate really badly. We might not want Rishka for the same reason. Although, like, Duress into Constrictor into Rishka is a really good curve on the play. I think we want to cut Llanowar Elves. They're so bad against Fumigate. Like, our deck's pretty awful against Fumigate, but this card in particular is really bad against it. It's also possible we just don't want all the Brontodons. Maybe some Scroungers would be better than, like, 1 or 2 of them. I don't know, I always found this card pretty annoying when I was playing the blue-white lists. It makes, like, your COAs feel kind of awkward, because, like, if you Fumigate this away, they get to sack it in... Well, if you settle this, they get to sack it in response and get a creature back. But I could see just wanting more 2s. And, like, this plays decently against Fumigate, specifically, at least. Let me try this. You prefer them over the Jade Lights, even? Jeez, okay. I'll bring in the extra Brontodon. I think I'm cutting the Rishkas for the same reason I'm cutting the Llanowar Elves. They just, like, make us commit into the board really heavily. They probably have 4 Seal forecast out. Yep, they probably do. So having the Brontodons is likely fine. I think I like this setup. I think we need some amount of this stuff. Maybe the Chupacabras are just better than the Contempts. I'm kind of worried about Teferi, though. Sure, let's try this. Green Ponder. Naturalizes you can find off the impulse. Yeah, exactly. Alright. This hand does stuff. We get to clear the way. It's kind of awkward. We want to save this for later in the game. Maybe I don't cast it yet. Maybe I cast my Constrictor next turn, then turn 3 I can go Duress plus Ballista. I guess if they have a search for his counter, though, we want to take it. I'm going to do this now, but I'm not convinced it's correct. Ooh, they have the search. They have a Lyra as well, which is why I kept in the Chupacabras. We're just going to take the search, because it's the card we actually care about. Like all of these just a 1-for-1. Yes, in an ideal world we take the Lyra, but probably just gonna have to hope to draw into an answer for her in a timely fashion. Speaking of, I'm gonna cast Constrictor this turn. I guess if we cast the Scrap Heap this turn, it gets in for more damage. We just start hitting for free. I can buy that. Yeah, let's just cast our free 2. It hits for more. Obviously we could go Constrictor into Ballista, but we can do that later on anyway. And get in more early damage with our Scrap Heap first. In the ideal world where Duress was a Fort Seas. This is true. So Grimslayer, the only decks we played up till now, we played Mono Red, which I thought was like pretty good. I'm not going to play around Syncopate here. I want to get the extra energy, I think. We don't know that they have a Syncopate in their hand, so I think I just want to try and get the extra energy if I can. We've tried playing Mono Red. Chainwhirler felt amazing, but the deck can never beat Lyra in a million years at the moment. So it needs a plan for Lyra if you want to play Mono Red, which is like a serious problem for that deck. We tried playing. Ooh, that's a Duress. That's pretty nice. We tried playing Blue-White Control, which was really, really good. I really enjoyed Blue-White Control. And we also played Blue-White Flash, which was easily the best deck I've played. Blue-White Flash, we went 4-1 with it, and our loss, we got pretty unfortunate. The deck just felt incredibly powerful to me. I think I Duress here. If it trades with a Disallow, that's fine. If they let us see our hand, their hand, that's fine. Kind of want to do it before combat in case they have a Seal Away. Because I kind of want to cast this before attacking, right? Because of Seal Away. Oh wow. So they have Lyra, Field, 2 Disallow, 2 Cast Out. I think I take a Cast Out. I want to try vehicles at some point, Kobe. I really want to try Grixis vehicles. I think Grixis vehicles seems pretty exciting to me. We played against it yesterday and it seemed really cool. I think I'm taking a Cast Out. And then I can plan on playing the Ballista next turn, so that they can either disallow the Ballista or cast out a thing, but not both. That seems pretty good to me. Yeah, I like taking the Cast Out too. And then we can pressure their hand next turn. Like if we cast this turn, it's just going to get disallowed, and that doesn't really achieve anything. Yeah, Heart of Kieran lines up really well against the cheap removal in the format at the moment. For sure, I agree completely, Captain. That's part of the reason I'm really excited about the idea of vehicles. So I guess I attack first, and they probably just take the damage, and then post-combat I can cast the Ballista. They have a Settle, that's like the one thing that really punishes me, but I'm going to cast this. I don't want them casting out a creature, so by casting this I pressure their hand more. Yep, Heart of Kieran and Harvester are both really exciting cards for me at the moment, I think. Oh wow. Hopefully, I really hope they rip the land for the Lyra. That would be amazing for us. They cycled the Cast Out, so they're trying to hit the land. Yeah, they were sort of forced into cycling, Phil. They just want to try and find the land for this because they feel like they're so far behind. Which I think is a bit aggressive, but it's probably fine. I guess we're just gonna attack for 5 here. If they have a Settle, it's really bad for us, but we can't really play around that. We just have to keep jamming in with our threats. Do I cast this? We know they have 2 Disallows Lyra. We get punished if they go land Fumigate, but even then we can return the Scrounger and put them back down to 2. Oh, we know they have a disallow. True. They just disallow this if they're scared of it. The thing is, if they have another cast out in hand, maybe they just are at the point where they have to proactively cast out a creature anyway. I think this is really close. It's like a bunch of arguments for and against. Like, I think trading this with a disallow is good, because it means they're not resolving an enchantment this turn. I think I'm going to cast this. I'm not convinced it's correct. I think it's really close one way or the other. If they go land Fumigate, we can return the Scrounger and put them back down to 2 anyway. If they cast the Lyra, then we slam Chupacabra and they die. Flying seems really important for aggro decks. Yep, I agree. We were having a lot of trouble against flying creatures with our Teferi's earlier. Please cast Lyra, that would have been the dream. Alright, so if they have... I hate Set of the Wreckage so much. It's my least favourite card in Standard. It's like, if we only attack with one creature, they can just cast out it and keep playing the game. Yeah, attack with 2 snakes. Maybe. I mean, they might be expecting us to respect Settle as well, is the problem. You like just attacking the 2 snakes? That's probably fine. I know, it's kind of heartbreaking to get the 2 snakes settled, but... I don't know, I feel like I'm just going to attack with 1 snake. If they trade an enchantment with it, I think that's fine. I think we're at a point where we have to, like, force them to Wrath at some point anyways. So, look at me being great. I think I'm just going to pass the turn here. If they Fumigate, we can get back the Scrounger and kill them that way. Modest Autumn, best Autumn. Oh my god. Let's cast a Chupacabra, huh? Do you have any 1-mana counter spells in your deck, opponent? Protection from Chupacabras. It can up. It's like Baneslayer, right? So it should have protection from Chupacabras. How does a rabid dog kill an angel anyway? It's so hungry. It just needed to eat a whole angel, okay? So we know they have Lyras in their deck. I don't know if they're keeping them in after they got ruined by Chupacabra. I just wonder whether Chupacabra is just better than the Contempts, but we're probably fine just to run this back. I think I'm pretty happy with how we have this set up. It's a doggo, not a demon. It's a very hungry doggo. This is an easy mole. Okay. This is what we signed up for. Never mind, didn't even need to use Ponder. Ooh, this is exciting. Please no counter. 1 time, no Essence Scatter. 1 time, no Essence Scatter. Come on, don't be rude. Rude opponent. Rudest opponent. Ooh, looking for those lands though, over there. Looking for those lands. Like, I don't want to start impulsing at some point. But I also don't want to use up my energy because it makes future Siphoners worse. I think I'm just going to play Forest Snake. I don't want to use up this energy quite yet. And like most of the stuff we could find of Impulse, we can just find and cast off it next turn anyway. Please no step on Snake. I agree. I would like it if they did not step on our Snake. Missing those land drops over there, like a champion. Alright, let's Adventurous Impulse. Ooh. Siphoner. Exciting. Very decent chance this gets disallowed, but we're gonna cast it anyway. There's like definitely an argument for holding this, so we can go like double threat next turn. But I think playing it out's fine. I'm gonna attack with my. I think I'm gonna attack with my Snake here. Yeah, the blue-white flash is just delightful, Nucleo. Strong recommend. They must have a seal away, right? They must have a seal away. Maybe I just don't attack. I just let them trade their seal away cleanly. I'm just not going to attack. There's no need. Ooh, another Siphoner or a Ballista. If we get the Ballista, we just never have to attack into seal away ever. That's not the worst. Let's make like a huge Ballista. We could also just get a Siphoner though. Another Siphoner sounds amazing too. I think I'm just going to get a Siphoner. Siphoner will draw us towards Ballista at some point anyway. I'm just going to pass the turn. I don't want to run into seal away here. And let them use their mana nicely. Okay, now they have 4, we can start attacking. No! What? So wrecked. Jeez. Just like mono-wrecked. Alright, past my Siphoner. They're prepared for people playing around seal away. Apparently. I'm going to attack the Snake now. I don't want to like... If I trade with a seal away, it means I'm not overextending into Fumigate anymore, which is kind of nice. Like, this is fine. It just makes Fumigate less scary. Oh wow. They're really desperate to get these things off the table. They must not have Settle in hand at the moment. Otherwise they wouldn't be so scared of this. I guess we'd get to draw 2 cards out the deal. So that's why they'd like cast the cast out like that. But the Settle would deal with both of them, which would be really good for our opponent. I'm just going to cast my Gearhulk. I want to get loads of power and toughness into play. Don't know how we're distributing these. I kind of just don't want to make the Siphoner too threatening. So we can keep drawing cards. So we can make this like a 7/7. And hit them for... Okay, let's actually do maths. I want 2 hits off the Gearhulk to be lethal. Ideally. So Siphoner hitting them for 3. And then next turn we'd hit for like 3 plus 7 is 10. And the turn after is 7 to kill them. So that's like fine. That's kind of a 2-turn clock. The alternative is I go like this. I just go all on the Gearhulk. I think this is fine though. I get like an extra damage in this turn. If they just deal with the Gearhulk, I've still got some value out of it, which is nice. The Gearhulk's big enough that they might just have to deal with it. No! Getting punished for attacking her. Alright, please no more sealaways. apparently we should just never have been attacking. Play of Vraska. We don't have any, Stephen, in our deck. Maybe Nucleo. I must admit I hardly ever bluff having cards in hand, but I probably should do it a bit more. So frustrating. Them having free COAs just makes us attacking look so bad. Now we're gonna die to Teferi. Yeah, this game's over. That was very frustrating. Maybe if we didn't attack with the Siphoner we have more of a chance. Won't even let us see what we draw up for Siphoner. Like maybe if we don't attack the Siphoner we have more of a chance. I figured like they'd already used up 2 COAs and we have to be pressuring our opponent. We can't just like leave the Siphoner back forever. So attacking felt good to me, but we got really punished. Yeah, strong agree, Kobe. I think Urza's Ruinous Blast looks incredible. And if you have the legends to support it, then it's a card you really want to consider playing. I completely agree with you. Right, I will go first. This hand is gas. We can't actually impulse on one. But we can go Siphoner with Ether Hub on 2, which is kind of amazing. Threatening to draw a card off Siphoner on turn 3 already. I guess we can technically impulse someone, but we're not doing up the Ether Hub because we are not mad people. Ooh, Llanowar Elf. The elf from Llanowar. Let's just get our Siphoner down. Threaten to start drawing cards before our opponent doesn't deal with it. I wonder if we're playing against the Hadana's Climb version of this deck. Would explain like this opening, right? Huh. I assume that means the answer is no. Ronas is quite big. I kind of just want to Rishka this turn so that I can Gearhulk next turn. Sounds pretty great to me. Ruinous Blast crushes our green-black deck too. It sure does. We get to keep our Rishka though. Get to keep our Rishka. I'm just going to Rishka. I want to be able to Gearhulk next turn. I think that seems really threatening. Just get loads of power in play. We could Adventurous Impulse instead of attacking. I think I prefer attacking by a bit though. The extra energy is kind of nice. Obviously hitting our land drop's nice with Gearhulk coming down off the Impulse, but I think this is good. Yeah, exactly, Kobe. We played against the Grixis Vehicles deck we played against yesterday. Was running Jaya's Immolating Inferno because they had Khans, Chandras, Heart of Kirans, Pianalars, and like off of those they could actually just run Immolating Inferno really easily. This Ronas is really problematic. I don't actually know how we deal with it. I guess we just have to contempt it at some point. Spend our time contempting it. Like, kind of worried we fall behind then, but they don't have much mana over there. I almost wonder if we can afford to take a turn like going Ballista plus Ranger so we can kill the Llanowar Elf. and then we can deal with the Ronus the turn after. We'll have like an extra mana or two. I kind of like that. I think I like that idea. Let's play Ranger with the intent of ballistering down the Llanowar Elf. You'd Impulse here to try and hit your land drop, Stephen? That seems fair. Like, hitting the land drop's nice in this hand. Okay, we'll Impulse first. If we miss on a land, it's kind of awkward though. Okay, we hit. This is great. So we hit our land drop. We play this. We cast our Ranger. I guess part of my thought was if Ranger hit an untapped land anyway, we'd get to attack with Siphoner and draw a card next turn. But I guess this is still great. Ooh, do you want an Impulse? I kind of want an Impulse. Actually sounds kind of great. We have to use up our Ballista here, which is sad. But with the Impulse, we should be able to find more gas between like the Impulse and the Ranger. We just dig through our deck a lot here. And then next turn we can Contempt the Ronus. We can't quite Contempt Ronus and cast Gearhulk, but we can cast the Ranger and Contempt Ronus, which is nice. Even like get in an attack with the Siphoner potentially to gain some more energy. They get to attack us for 10. That's fine. Puts us down. If they have double Blossoming Defense, we die, but I think I'm at peace with that. Right. I now feel punished for not just exiling this when we had the chance. Jeez, I forgot these decks are playing Gauta. Maybe I should have considered Gauta. Don't know how we win anymore. This Ronus is just gonna take over the game. Sorry about the furious mouse clicking. Ronus is just going to take over the game. Maybe I have to look for a Chupacabra here. Maybe I have to look for a Chupacabra and then hope they miss their third land drop and we can just do some blocks. Yeah, I'm going to Impulse. Try and find a Chupacabra. Yep, I agree, Nucleo. Hey, great. Awesome. One might say awesome. Because now we can save the Contempt for the Ronus next turn. Ronus wouldn't have been a big deal if we exiled Champion. I feel like the Ronus is much more scary if the game goes on for any amount of time though. Whereas the Champion eventually we just deal with in combat. I don't know. Maybe we just pass the turn here. Is this another creature? It's another creature plus 2 on trample. So we can chump the Ronus no matter what. We can double block this, but if they draw the land, we have to be able to triple block this. So I'm just going to pass the turn here. It means we don't get to draw a card with Siphoner, but we kind of have all the cards we need in hand at the moment, I think. I think if we get to go, like, Contempt plus another spell next turn, we're going to be in a fine position regardless. If they have another Gauta, it's a problem. Oh my god. I hate everything. I feel so dead. Never felt this dead in my life. I guess the Ronus is going to be offline next turn, so we're going to kill the Gauta. Maybe we still stand a chance. We're going to lose a lot of our mana here with the Rishka gone though. It's fine, we're crushing them. How are we crushing them, Steven? Maybe we're crushing them, I don't know. We get to exile this next turn. Play our Gearhulk the turn after. Maybe it's fine. Maybe I'm just overreacting. We're going to go up to 6 so we can even take a hit off the Ronus. If they have a Blossoming Defense, we die. It's like the one big fear here. The Llanowar Elves actually really annoying, because it means we can't afford to attack with our Siphoner. I think it means that. Right, obviously we have to do this. Get the Gouter out of play. We drew an Ether Hub, so we still get to draw off the Siphoner next turn. We have to hope they don't have a creature to turn Ronus online, otherwise we're just losing this game. But if they don't have a creature that's big enough for Ronus, then we get to cast Gearhulk next turn. Maybe we just have to attack here. Maybe we just have to hope they don't have a creature for Ronus. Do you think we needed to keep Rishka in play? The extra mana didn't actually line up very well with how our hand was, though. It would, like, if we drew the land, it lets us cast the Jade Light Ranger, I guess. I guess if we aren't drawing a land, we're quite likely to be drawing a 2-drop we can cast. So maybe you're right. I think we have to attack here. I think if they have a creature to turn the Ronus on, we're just dead. And if their creatures don't turn Ronus on, then we have to get them, kill them quickly, otherwise we're just going to die to the Ronus. So I think we have to attack for that reason. But obviously, like, half the cards in their deck kill us in this position. Yep, that's fine. We're dead anyway. That was a bit frustrating. If we just exiled this the turn it came down, rather than getting greedy with killing their Llanowar Elves, we probably easily win that game. That was a bit rough. Luckily we have a pile of Chupacabras for their Gouters, but this matchup seems scary. I guess we want some Fatal Pushes, right? Just more removal. Keep their creatures off board so they can't cast Gouter. We need to take out 3 cards. I'm not really sure. It's very hard to know what to board out on this deck. Like, I feel like the board could stall out and we end up needing like the Rishka Snake synergy as a result. Maybe I can just like trim on a couple Jade Lights. And since I have more cheap cards, I could cut a Llanowar Elves. I'm not in love with that. But they also have Ballista in their deck as well. Most likely. Whatever, I've got more stuff to do early, so cutting the Elves seems kind of fine. Or trimming on one. Since we're lowering our curve anyway. I just feel like all the other cards are more important. I can't keep this. It's like leaning on the Ether Hub too much. Don't really have a nice play on turn 2. Obviously we can impulse for another land, but that's a good question, Sean. I'd probably play this. I'm just a bit worried that I think Mono Red is very, very strong, but it struggles a lot against Lyra, and I'd assume there'd be lots of Lyras. Maybe because it's a week 1 PPTQ, people won't have their Lyras yet, so you could take Mono Red then. It basically depends on how many Lyras you expect to play against though, because Mono Red really, really struggles against that card. In my experience so far. Can't keep this, Anonymous Coward 2018. Oh my god. Yeah, pretty much, Sean. Yeah. Glad we're on the same page. What the hell? How do we win? This card seems pretty unbeatable. I guess we're just going to cast a Gearhulk on turn 3, hopefully. But this seems just, like, ludicrous to me. It's like, I kind of have to kill their creatures. Because otherwise I'm going to die to this Gouter. But if I kill their creatures, they're just drawing into more creatures. Like, I have to kill this to keep the Gouter out of play. But they're going to get to draw cards. And we just have to accept that. Like, it sucks, but it's where we're at. Hopefully we can go Rishka into turn 4 Gearhulk here. And the Gearhulk can apply enough pressure. Wait for them to play the second again. That was a nightmare, the second Shaper Sanctuary yesterday. I assume they have, I assume they are splashing blue for negates so they can beat the control decks. In which case the mono green deck could actually be kind of legit. Right, I just want to be able to attack through the 5/4s. There's no way to attack through the 5/4s with both though. Sucks. So yes, I just make a 6/6 and accept my 5/5s a bit smaller. I guess if I do it like this, the Rishka could potentially trade with the champion on blocks, and the Gearhulk can be attacking. Yes, this is also fine. I'm surprised by like how potent the mono green decks have become. The fact they've started playing Gouters has made that deck so much scarier. Lots of decks just really ill-equipped to deal with this. Or at least like multiple of these, just like one after the other, as you deal with them. So we have to Chupacabra this. They can't actually cast Gouter this turn, which... What the hell? Prey upon, okay. Like Siege Rhinos, Gouters, travel in packs, they sure do. I guess I attack for 7 first, and then I have to kill this so that they can't cast Gouter next turn. Or at least I think that keeps them off casting Gouter next turn. I could also just save this to kill Gouter. That's the other option. Because this is coming down eventually. Is playing 4 trips. Yeah, you can kill one of them and then they play a second one and you die to it. I don't know. It's really awkward. So next turn they're going to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They can almost cast this next turn anyway. I think I just have to cast this stuff. And accept that my Chupacabra is going to be killing the Gouter instead of the Steel Leaf. I think that is the plan. Okay. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Sean. We just have to save it for the Gouter. We can like no longer try and keep them off Gouter because they have so much mana thanks to like the Rishka and Llanowar Elf on top of the power these creatures provide to make Gouter cost less. Hopefully they don't have another Prey upon to kill our Gearhulk. Or, what's this? A Gearhulk of their own? Okay. We're gonna make it an 8/8 so we can't attack them. Yeah. I have to just kill the Gouter here. There's no option in that. The Gouter just has to die. Otherwise we're gonna die to it. They get to draw a card. That's fine. I'm gonna hold the Ballista. If I don't draw a spell, next turn I get to Ballista for 4, whereas casting it this turn and ticking it up only gives me a Ballista for 3. And like most spells, let us still have a similarly sized Ballista next turn anyway. So I think it's better to hold it here. I'm going to start taking some hits off their Gearhulk, but as long as we can fade a couple draw steps, hopefully the Ballista can start closing out the game. Maybe we find a snake to pair with it, so the Ballista can grow a bit faster. Even like an 8th land lets us charge up the Ballista twice per turn. What are they drawing? They're thinking for a bit. Hash up Oasis. Okay. We make this an 11-11, and we probably just have to let it through. We need the Gearhulk to block their 6-5. As long as there's 6-5s in play, this Gearhulk's basically unblockable. Imagine if we had the Eldest Reborn this game. Oh my god, Steven. That'd be kind of great, for sure. The sacrifice doesn't even, like, trigger the Sanctuary. That Llanowar Elf would be so dead, it sure would. Huh, they're targeting the Steel Leaf champion. Interesting. I mean, that makes it unblockable. Now we just have to block the Gearhulk. Otherwise we're taking too much damage. If they have a Blossoming defense, this block is really bad for us. But I think we're just meant to block like this, so we can keep as many throwaway bodies in play as possible. They're probably just going to kill the Gearhulk anyway. Oh, we want to block with Chupacabra, because then if they kill the Gearhulk, we keep our creature, don't we? Yep, that makes more sense. That's way better. Yep, you're right, Sean. We block with the Chupacabra, because then we don't lose it in combat, whereas we lose the Jade Light. Okay, that's a draw. That is a very good draw. So we make this a 7-7 so it can block the Steel Leaf champion. And we can put a counter on our Ballista. This is pretty great for us. So we make this a 7-7 so it can block the Steel Leaf champion. And we put one counter on the Ballista, I think. We could make this an 8-8. Then if they double block with both of these... Enters the battlefield, okay. Could just make this an 8-8, because then if we attack with it, and they double block, they lose both their creatures. They need to draw something else to actually tackle this in combat. I think I like that more. I think I'm just going to make my Verdurous Gearhulk an 8-8. It means we can start pressuring them with it, and then the Ballista should have them dead really quickly. Do I think this deck could play Ripjaw? As in the black-green deck, it could do. You could ping it with the Ballista. I just don't see that we want Ripjaw more than any of the other creatures is the problem. All the other creatures are already so powerful. This is a second activation on Ballista, which is really nice. I'm going to swing with my 8-8. If it trades with these two, I think that's pretty good for us. Means they can't cast Gouter anymore. And if they take 8 damage, that's also great for us. So like either way we're happy. Yeah, for sure. I think Ravenous Chupacabra is really well positioned at the moment. Depends on how many people play like control decks. There's a lot of control online at the moment, and Chupacabra is not ideal against that. But if there's if the meta does become like heavy control, okay, we're just gonna kill the 2 biggest creatures. Then you probably don't want to be playing this deck anyway, because this deck struggles against Fumigate and Settle. Alright, might actually win this game. I felt so far behind earlier, but drawing 2 Verdurous Gearhulks in quick succession has helped a lot, and our opponents kind of been bricking. I guess that's going to happen when you put a whole bunch of Llanowar Elves in your deck, right? Sometimes you're just going to draw lots of mana. Who get to attack my team. I'm probably going to have to trade off these Llanowar Elves. I'm not going to ping down the Llanowar Elves because it means they can draw cards. I'm just going to keep my counters on my Ballista. Keep growing it. Alright. Now they're on a virtual 1, because Ballista deals 5 to them. Awesome. Alright, on to game 3. I think I'm pretty happy with how we have this set up. I'm wondering if we want some Brontodons. Shaper's Sanctuary is quite annoying, and they have Gearhulks too. A couple Brontodons wouldn't actually go amiss. Also, just like the 3/4 body is only a counter away from being able to trade with a Steel Leaf champion, which is nice. So I think a couple of these seem good. I don't think we want too many, but maybe they're just better than the Jadelight Rangers even. We could just so the best deck in both blue, white and green, black is Ballista. Got it. Ballista was not the best card in blue, white. Ballista's like fine in blue, white, but it wasn't amazing. It's just like okay. On the draw, we're probably going to have to Fatal Push the Elf, so that like inclines me to trim down on my Elves even more. And then we could cut another Jadelight or another Elf. I almost wonder whether you get to cut a land on the draw, but that's probably crazy when we have all these Ballistas. We're just hoping to always find creatures off this if possible. Maybe it's just another Ranger. Seems fine. I think the extra mana off Rushka is pretty relevant in this matchup, just to like keep pace. Let's try this. I think having a couple Rontodons is really exciting this matchup though. Like Gearhulk is very large. I don't think you can keep this. We're on the draw. So we have like 2 draws towards a land. Obviously this Ether Hub goes dead real quick. We also have Adventurous Impulse Donuts. Yeah, I would mull this. I agree. It's kind of sad to mull it. Oh my god, this is like kind of worse. This hand does nothing. This hand does like actual nothing. Really leaning on this Ponder. Alright. I think I'm just gonna kill this. We don't have any way to trigger Revolt soon anyway. Opponent probably has blue for negates to help them against... Wow, max punished on this Fatal Push. Opponent likely has blue for negates. Since we haven't seen any blue from their deck, but it's likely for negates since these mono green decks really struggle against the Fumigate Settle Wreckage decks. So being able to negate those cards seems really powerful. Wow, this is probably the best card in the matchup against us. Unmax punished my draw step for sure. I think we're just going to lose to this Ronus if we don't find a Contempt soon. But can but try. Right, so we can Rishka, make this a 4/5. Yes, we have to attack with our 4/5 here. Then next time we can have Fatal Push up for this. We can threaten to trade the Rishka for this. Like, we kind of have to be trying to pressure them, right? We don't actually necessarily have the long game once they have Aronis in play. Yeah, this is going to be a colossal beating. Aronis is a very tough card to beat when you only have 2 Contempts in your deck. And you're relying on like pushes and ballistas. Alright. So if they attack with their stuff, they don't get to block, which is really nice. Yeah, this is good for us, I think. We can just trade... Ooh. I'm inclined just to take this. I go to 8. I can push the Heart of Kieran next turn, though, and hit them back to 8. I think I'm just going to take this. I think I have to try and get them dead now that they have Ronus on board. And with the Fatal Push, we're like well equipped to play against Heart of Kieran. How do we deal with Jade Light next turn? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering how we win if we... So next turn they can attack with Ronus plus Jade Light, threaten to pump the Jade Light to give her trample. So we need to like find a chump blocker of the Impulse, I guess. That's not that unrealistic. We've got a draw step and an Impulse. The Ronus can't attack if I trade. That's true. That's true. Which is nice. It can't attack or block. Because we can kill the heart. That's a good argument for trading, honestly. Just like trade and hope that they don't have anything too big in their hand. And we can kill the heart. I feel like knocking them down to 8 is our best shot at winning, though. I'm gonna take this, but I'm not convinced it's correct. My intuition says I want to take it, though. Creature you control. Okay, so this doesn't work with the snake like we want it to. I'm gonna Impulse, try and find a 2-mana creature. Llanowar Elves, that still plays, that still blocks Ronus. I can attack them for 8 here. Play the Elves, pass the turn. So there's a lot of stuff we die to. A lot of stuff we're like close to virtually dead to. But we aren't in the worst position in the world here. We still have like a shot at winning this game, depending on what their hand is. Yeah, I think this was the correct line. Feels like I can actually win, yep. Agreed. Whereas like with the Ronus on board, we're just sort of even if we like trade off with this and kill this with the Ronus on board, even if their hand is bad, we're still just sort of like treading water. Hoping they don't draw anything that can turn the Ronus on. At least this way, if their hand is bad, we kill them, right? It's like much better than the alternative. And if they're greedy with their attacks, we kill them too. Gives us much more of a shot. And like even if they play a blocker and they do some reasonably aggressive attacks, we're still drawing live to Chupacabra or whatever. Or like potentially Brontodon, depending on what the blocker is. Come on, opponent. I just want to know. I don't care if I'm dead, just let me know. Gouter, Verdurus, Gearhawk. Alright. This is bad for us. Probably means we have to draw Chupacabra, Contempt, or Brontodon to win this game now. Depending on how they attack. Yeah, not dead, for sure. Depends on how they attack, depends on what we draw. Still in this. Interesting. Alright. So now if we draw a Contempt or Chupacabra, we kill them. Or a Brontodon. Like any of those draws kill our opponent. Which is good. We're just gonna chump this. Gonna need to draw well, but we put ourselves in the position to draw well. Yeah. Just like super dead, right? Just super dead. Sadness. We gave ourselves our best chance that game though. We gave ourselves the best chance we could. By trying to get aggressive. That green deck felt like an actually pretty scary matchup for us. Like obviously Chupacabra's great against them, but they kind of just go way over the top of us. They have like Gouters, and they have their own Gearhawks too to keep pace with ours. Feels like you need to get some like 6 snake synergies going to keep up a lot of the time. And on to the next one. I'm not really sure, Walloon. I was just trying out this deck because it's been putting up some 5-0s. I suspect Hidana's Climb is better than this version, but I just kind of wanted to give this version a try. Probably the obvious upsides to this are your mana is much more consistent, which means you can play Llanowar Elves, which is really nice. Whereas Llanowar Elves and Hidana's Climb you're not able to cast on turn 1 nearly as consistently. That's probably one of the big differences. Yeah, it's not incredibly obvious like which is the better option. And Hidana's Climb's like an incredibly powerful magic card. You're excited that Karizav's expertise is going to 12 people a lot? It sure is. Alright, not sure what I'm playing here. I kind of just want to Constrictor, but then we're limiting ourselves to like 1 spell a turn. But like playing the Chupacabra next turn's fine. I might attack with my elf. I think they don't block. Then we can play our Constrictor. Llanowar Elves not looking amazing this game. For sure. This is like part of my concern about playing this version instead of like a Hedana's Climb version is I'm not convinced that I'm not convinced Llanowar Elves is actually that great in the deck, as a lot of your good cards are at 2 mana, but yeah, the sealed format's a lot of fun. Phil, I'm really enjoying it. You'd have just cast Jade Light, Stephen? I don't know, I kind of want to get some of like the powerful stuff in the deck going. Maybe that's greedy, but like this is looking pretty good, right? We get to cast Constrictor. And then cast Constrictor, cast Siphoner. Leading up to a really good turn next turn. Then we can attack with our 2/3. Yeah, cast Constrictor. Cast Siphoner. That's true, Stephen. That's fair. I think the way we went has worked out fine, but drawing the second Constrictor certainly made our line look a bit of... Oh, Blossoming Defense. Jesus, I'm so stupid. No! No! My heart can't take it. Regret. Oh my god. This game is so over. Oh my god. Okay. That was slightly upsetting. Now we're going to lose to this Ballista. And can't even attack because they have Blossoming Defense in their deck, of course. Okay. 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 Let's cast our Ranger. They get to kill it with the Ballista if they want. Yep. The roller coaster ride of Autumn's Stream is real. It sure is. I guess we want the Constrictor. We're not doing anything with it at the moment. But it makes all the draws after Constrictor much more powerful. So I guess we keep it. Haven't seen this big a swing since you were watching a huge screen at Nationals. Yeah. This game has not been my greatest moment. Is it bad I kind of just want to have, like, if near dead lands the Llanowar Elves this turn almost? Like, it feels like their hand's just a pile of Gouters and Ballistas. And trading a land for a Llanowar Elf is kind of fine. I'm just going to do this. But if we trade our land with a Blossoming Defense, I think that's entirely reasonable. If we get the Llanowar Elf out of play, I think that's actually good for us. Because they clearly have a very slow hand, and they probably have a Gouter in hand. It makes Ballista vaguely less terrifying draw. Means they can't crew their Harvester after this turn too. Anytime I get even a little bit loose, insta-punish. Yep. Pretty much. Pretty much. That's the most heartbreaking adventurous impulse I've ever seen. Put 2 removal spells on the bottom against the mono green deck. Draw a forest. Alright, attack you for free. Cast my other snake. They probably just have a pile of Gauters in their hand. They have this Chupacabra in our hand, so we're well equipped to deal with that if that's the case. Your username is secretive, so it's tricky to figure out. You would never be able to guess. If they have a Gouter in hand, they get to cast it this turn. They can make this an 8/8. Crew the Harvester, cast the Gouter. You can kill the Gouter, but then the Gearhulk gets to stick. Hopefully they just don't have a Gouter. That would be great. Hopefully they just have a land. We get to keep playing Magic. Opponent is confused as to why they can't crew their Harvester and put counters on it. And I'm explaining that targets need to be present as the trigger is going on the stack in order to actually be targeted by the trigger. We live in suspense of whether they have Gouter or not. It'd be pretty ludicrous if Gearhulk just got to naturally dump 4 counters on a Harvester. Unkillable 7/9 flyer. Explaining the rules to them quickly. Here comes the Gouter. Or are they just attacking us? That'd be kind of fine. Just attacking, not having a Gouter. One time please. It is quite unintuitive. You are not wrong. No! Our hopes were dashed. This is a pretty good draw. I don't know if it's going to be good enough. Do not know if it's going to be good enough. Opponent just said they're pretty sure they did this before in paper in regards to the Harvester crewing, and that makes me feel vaguely awkward. Alright, I guess I'm attacking with my critters, right? I'm not blocking this thing. Not until my ballista's a bit bigger. I just have to hope my opponent fades on a draw. obviously get to use the Oasis on one of these. But if they fade on a draw, we're in a pretty good spot, I think. Make this 6 power, threaten to kill the Harvester, threaten to block the Gearhulk. And they can hit us for 8 here. It only puts us to 9. If they're attacking here and not using Oasis, that's a bad sign though. Probably means they have something to do with the mana post-combat. Yeah, exactly, Dixie. That was why I felt a bit awkward about it. Alright, but the extra mana is not the worst of the Ballista, I guess. It's not the worst. So I guess I'd cast this and pump up the Ballista and just pass the turn. I'm going to attack with Chupacabra. They block with the Gearhulk. I have to use up my whole Ballista to take it down. It means they can't Gouter us next turn. And we lose... I think I'm just going to play the Elf and pass the turn here. I think we really want to just try and straight up kill the Gearhulk with the Ballista. If we can fade one more draw step, we're just in such a good position. Whereas trading off like our Chupacabra and our Ballista for the Gearhulk is... It's not like we are in a good position then against strong draw steps anyway, right? They might just also have a Blossoming Defense, for all we know. Which makes attacking rough as well. Llanowar Elves, that is going to the yard, I imagine. Yeah. I could have killed it with the trigger on the stack, I guess. This is fine though. If they attack with just the Harvester, I get to kill it with my Ballista. Yep. Probably just going to do that. Means I'm not killing the Gearhulk for a little while. Next turn I can just put counters on this and kill the Gearhulk and then start swinging. I guess I'm just taking this. This doesn't actually matter particularly. I just want to kill the Gearhulk as soon as possible. Land... Oh, this is a tap land? Tap land of Tilt. Soon Gouter will be too small for Ballista. It sure will be. Oh, we get to just attack with this. And then post-combat, if they have to chump. They have to chump block. Oh my god. I'm so happy. Can we just attack with everything and kill them? Maybe we can. If we attack with everything, they have to chump block the Ballista. They've conceded. Cool. And then they die. Oh, they go to 1. They have to chump. God bless you, Walking Ballista. 2 right. Oh my god. Whew. Head of a card. So we want like some mix of this stuff again, I think. We want to trim on Llanowar Elves, trim on Jadelites. Just like, these feel like the obvious swaps. I wouldn't hate just taking out all the Llanowar Elves. I don't know how unreasonable that is. Like, I feel like I want the 4th Fatal Push. Just go down to the 1 elf. It feels so weird. But that's probably fine. I got like other things to do early. Elves is pretty bad against Ballista. I don't really want to remove my synergy pieces because I feel like they're necessary to actually like go toe-to-toe with our opponent's plan. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to be back in a moment and then we'll play this game. Just going to disappear for 1 minute. Oh my god, this hand. This is like the most borderline 7 I've seen. Hey there, Amy. Yes, we keep this though. Get to draw off Glint Sleeve. I think we keep this. Drawing a card of Siphoner turn 2 is just so good. Or turn 3, rather. Obviously this is really land heavy, but the deck's pretty good at using the mana. We've got a Ballista to use the mana on. Yeah, this is the problem with the deck. You get hands like this and it's like, yes I keep. Probably gonna flood, but... I moved the camera to my other monitor. I just thought it looked a bit better. Yeah, this hand is very for sure, Sean. I don't know, I think the camera looks better like this. Feedback appreciated. But it's nice that, like, when I'm responding to chat, I'm actually talking to the camera. Or reading chat as well. I kind of like that. Awesome. Glad to hear it. I also just think, like, with the camera facing me straight on felt really unflattering, whereas like this, I think it's decent. 24 lands. Yeah, I could see that being too many. I think I am tempted to agree with you, Sean. Wow. Look at this mole. Just like perfect, dreamy Jade Light. We're just going to run out our Siphoner here, get drawing cards. Obviously, you kind of want to push the Llanowar Elves, but I can wait. Maybe they play the 5-4 next turn and we get to go like Ballista kill something. Fatal push the 5-4 off the Revolt. Probably wants a 4-3 rather than a 2-1, I guess. I just like drawing cards, okay, Sean? Drawing cards is great. A+. Oh my god. I hate Walking Ballista. It's my least favourite card to play against. It's so bad. Oh my god. Ugh. I guess I've already said Settle was my least favourite card to play against, but this card's really obnoxious. When it just Flame Tongue Carvus your Siphoner. Best card in the deck, most hated card. Yeah. Not really sure what I'm meant to do here. Maybe I do just have to do this on one. Maybe I do just have to do this on one. The mic's still working on my end, Amy. I had Siphoner Chain World. Yeah, I have not, Sean. That sounds awful. I guess this is fine. If it means they can't like put a counter on their Ballista at least. Can push first. Yeah, I guess we could push first on their Ballista. Maybe that would be better. Kind of figured this would mean I'd get to like block and ping, and then next turn I have Chupacabra to kill something big. Maybe this is aggressive. This is probably just bad. I should probably just like Fatal Push the Ballista, next turn Chupacabra, play this on 5 for X equals 2. This feels really loose. I feel like I'm wasting my resources. It's like I kind of want to use this to kill the Chupacabra, but the Ballista, but I guess I just pass the turn and let them attack me. If they cast 5-4, I can like... Casting Ballista is just really bad. So, like, obviously I can trigger Revolt now for the Fatal Push, but I can use Chupacabra to kill the things that Fatal Push would kill with Revolt anyway. Yeah, I kind of just have to take this, I think. Even though I kind of wanted to block with it, I think it's better just to take it now that I've gone down this line. Because I ideally want to kill the Ballista with it anyway. Ooh, a Rampager. Okay, they're gonna use all their mana casting this Rampager. It's kind of tough, right? Like, we kind of want to Chupacabra that, but they have so many more impactful things in their deck that I think I'm gonna Fatal Push it instead. That makes more sense to me. Why pay 3 green for a 5/4 and you can have a 3/4? Exactly, Sean. Clearly just way better. So they have 5, 6, 7 power. So at the moment Gouter costs 5. When this dies, so they're back down to 4, so Gouter will cost 8 again. And they only have the 5 mana. We know they have a... I guess they've probably played their land by now, haven't they? So we don't know anything about their hand. Yeah, 100% Fatal Pushing the Rampager. I'm just going to hold the Chupacabra for something scarier. Obviously really awkward, we can't really put a counter on this without them shooting with their Ballista. I guess if they shoot this with their Ballista, in response to us putting a counter, we like kill another creature and we've traded 2 creatures for our Ballista. So it's like we got to do Ballista for 2 anyway. So that's actually kind of a decent use of a turn, I think. Just kill this Rampager. To trigger Revolt for their mono green deck. Yep. That is clearly the line. Alright, let's just put a counter on. Yep, they have to ping this in response, and we get to kill the Jade Light. So we got two cards for our Ballista. Obviously they kind of got a card for free out of theirs, so it's like a 2 for 2 on the Ballistas, but that's fine. Could be worse. Oh my god. Why Jade Light over Llanowar? They already have lots of lands, is what I was thinking. They already have like a lot of lands. Whereas the Jade Light cleanly trades with the Ravenous Chupacabra later on down the line. I almost feel like I just have to kill this. Otherwise I'm falling really far behind. But I can't even play gas. Yeah. This is kind of scary. It's kind of scary. I guess I'll pass the turn. I get to keep my 2/2 and play that way. Next turn I can kill this with the Chupacabra and play this, and just hope they don't have anything that can crew the Sky Sovereign the turn after. If they can crew this, we're in huge trouble. But like, their hand is Sky Sovereign in 1 card at the moment, so it's not impossible that they can't crew it. Their Llanowar Elves won't help them crew it. We have like some other creatures that won't help either. Okay. Apparently we should have just killed the Jade Light last turn. I hadn't really considered Gouter. Maybe a mistake on my part. Like, if we kill this, they then can't crew the Sky Sovereign or cast Gouter. Whereas now we're in a position where, like, we have to kill this. And then the Sky Sovereign's going to kill our Chupacabra and we're going to hit for 5. We kind of have to, like, draw an answer to the Jade Light or the Sky Sovereign the turn after. Yeah, but maybe If I was just hoping for opponent to flood and get useless hands and cards in hand, maybe I could have killed the Jade Light for that purpose. Thank you for the bits, Felix. Bit war incoming. No, I still think it's kind of close. Getting to keep the 2/2 is nice, but yeah, 4 contempt is dreamy, for sure. I'm currently wishing we had more contempts. I agree with this notion. Just like dead on board to the boat. Alright, get to be on the play now. Being on the play is quite good. We've seen the boat. I'm just bringing in the 4th one of these. I think we just want the 4th. Yeah, I've not liked the Llanowar Elves much so far, Dab. The impulse has been pretty nice. Like, I feel like we've got a critical mass of Constrictors more often in these games than I'm used to with this sort of deck, but I would agree that the Llanowar Elves has not felt amazing. We've been like boarding them out a lot to make room for other things. I wonder if on the play... Like, I kind of want to cut these Rishkas. Like, I'm worried about not having enough grind in the deck at the moment. Am I meant to shave Impulse for push? I'm unsure. That's a good question. I'm almost wondering if I'm meant to just not be having 24 lands in my 4 Adventurous Impulse deck. It could just be that 24 lands is too many. I could just trim a land here for another elf. I could see that being the case. It is a lot of lands. Yeah, you're for that, just like cutting a land here for an elf. Probably a swamp, I guess. Kind of want the dead lands, not too worried about like the extra damage off them. Let's try this. We get to fit in like another elf this way on the play. I think 24 lands is probably just too many with us having 4 impulse and like mana dorks and stuff. Derp. Like, this is probably a keep. We're obviously not happy with it, but I feel like we have to keep this rather than go to 5. Like, if we hit our land drops and find like one thing to do in the meantime, back-to-back Gearhawks gives us a decent shot. I'm gonna keep this. I'm not thrilled about it, but hey, that's the dream. Good to know, Sean. Good to know. Or maybe I'm meant to lead on Deadland so I can push their elf and still play my Siphoner. Okay, they didn't have an elf to punish me. That's good. I like not being punished for my decisions. I'm glad I'm able to help, Sean. I'm glad I am able to help. Alright, that's a Branch Walker. For some reason I expected a second Explore trigger. I'm too used to Jade Light Ranger. Okay, that's another land towards these Gearhawks. Let's just attack for 2. I'm just gonna pass the turn. There's like perfectly reasonable motivation just to kill their Branch Walker here. They have Gouter in their deck, so like keeping bodies off their side is relevant. It's free power towards a Gouter. It's also, it takes away all their pressure. I think I'm just gonna kill this. I'm also gonna want to do it now before they can Blossoming Defense. Yeah, I think I like the push 2, Sean. I think it makes a lot of sense to me. Like, normally I wouldn't like using a Fatal Push on a Murphic Branchwalker, but the fact they're playing Gouter, the fact we just kind of want to, like, buy time till Gearhulks. Yeah, for sure, Sean. I agree. Like, most of the bigger things we'd want to push, we'd need to get Revolt for, which is going to be a bit tricky. Right, one time, no Ballista. No Ballista. Please. Sure, you can have your Jade Light Ranger. Yeah, that's pretty good for free. That's a pretty good for free. At least we get our card out of the deal. Alright. This Constrictor's gonna be amazing. They have to spend their turn ballistering this down. Then we get to Gearhulk them. Put on some serious pressure. Back-to-back Gearhulks with a Constrictor in play is, like, probably going to be good enough if they don't have a Gouter to block with. Hey there, Heather. Hope you're doing well. Right, we take the 4. They're probably going to Ballista down this Siphoner this turn, because they just really don't want us drawing more cards. This is also scary. It might just be too slow against our Gearhulks, though. Honestly. Yep, they're gonna kill this. I think this is probably just gonna be too slow against the Gearhulks. Certainly what we're hoping. Like, back-to-back Gearhulks is just so terrifying. I kind of want to make this a 7/7, so I can block their 3/2 and not have this die to the Skyboat. So I think we put 2 counters on both. Because then we get to attack for as much as possible this turn, whilst making sure we can block their 3/2 and not have this die to the Sky Sovereign. And get to attack them down to 11. So, like, the second Gearhulk beefing up our trample creatures, probably going to be good enough next turn, as long as they don't have Gouter, which they don't seem to. Alright. Alright, no Gouter. No Gouter's great. Now green-black looks great. This game has looked kind of awesome, for sure. Don't know what I'm doing with these counters yet, but I'm clearly casting this. I need to keep attacking. Oh my god. So how are we distributing counters? So we want the snake to require at least a double block, which means it has to be 10 toughness. We also want the Verdurous Gearhulk to be at least a double block. I don't know if we can do this. Force double blocks on both these creatures. I guess we want to make it so that if they double block these creatures with their 2 largest creatures, they both die. But that's going to happen regardless. So that isn't something to worry about. We definitely want 1 counter on this to make it a 6/6, because then it punches through Steel Leaf Champion really well next turn. I have no idea how it meant to distribute the final counter. So, distributed like this, the snake becomes an 8/9, and the Gearhulk becomes an 8/8. So, whereas alternatively, the snake would be a 7/8, and the Gearhulk would be a 9/9. The snake becomes fucking massive. Yes, it does. This is accurate. This is accurate, Sean. I don't think it really matters which we put this counter on, but there's clearly a correct decision and a wrong decision, right? On the Trampler, yeah, it's probably just on the Trampler. Having, like, as big a trampling creature as possible probably makes things rougher for them. Maybe 1/2/1. Yeah, I think I like just putting it on the Trampler. I'm not really sure which is better to put the counters on, but Smork. I'm like the least Smork player ever. It's so bad. Oh, now if they want to take down the Gearhulk though, they probably have to triple block it. Yeah, they have to triple block it and then they lose their whole board. So the Gearhulk just gets to crunch for 10 and put them to 1. Or is Plague Wind. I also like Plague Wind. You know a few people even less Smork than me. Oh my god. I love how our opponent's just sitting there that entire time like, why won't you just put the counters on and kill me already? Oh, they have the Blossoming Defense then. They have the Blossoming Defense, which is like kind of something, but probably not enough. Like, they still go to 1 here. Still just dead to everything. I just like playing mid-range decks where you don't have to attack very much. I don't know. Opponent's just super dead. Yeah, we beat them on a green deck. It's kind of a relief after losing to it the round before. And now 2-2 with black-green Snake. So far, my impression is that I don't like this build very much because I'm not convinced Llanowar Elves is that amazing in it. Not convinced like this is a great build for Llanowar Elves, or a great archetype for Llanowar Elves necessarily. The Adventurous Impulses have been alright, but we feel a bit land heavy for them. Alright, we would like to go first. I guess we're keeping this. Yeah, I agree, Dab. The Llanowar Elf doesn't really help you ramp stuff out very well. How's the black-green going? We're 2-2 with it. It feels like pretty strong. Been kind of liking the Adventurous Impulses, but the Llanowar Elves, up until exactly this moment, have been pretty mediocre. I guess this exact moment, it looks pretty good though, when we draw a 3-drop and don't have a 2-drop in hand. The problem is though, a lot of the time you just, kind of want this. I think I want this. We don't have anything to do with it, but it's like one of the stronger cards in our deck. The problem is, a lot of the time we just want to cast 2-drops on turn 2 anyway. If you have a Constrictor, you just want to cast that on turn 2, which makes like the Llanowar Elves feel a bit mopey. See ya, Sean. Good luck at whatever PPTQ you're inevitably playing this weekend. Alright, attack for 5. This is a pretty good start from us. It's a pretty good start from us. We can deal with a Scarab God. We can deal with like any other sort of creature, so as long as they're not hard control, we're gonna be putting a decent clock on them. Okay, Amy, enjoy F&M. I hope that goes well. Could cast this pre-combat to play around Supreme Will. We play it into Yahenni's Expertise. I'm not really expecting that card. I'm going to cast this pre-combat because of Supreme Will. That's a card they could like very reasonably have in their deck. You're so jealous of me not having to. I know, it's great. It is quite great not having to PPTQ. Not gonna lie. Alright, we just get in for 7. Do they have a Yahenni's Expertise? Like, they're just taking all this damage. If they do, I feel really stupid for this, but I feel like we need to continue deploying threats. Jeez, that's kind of rough, Dab. Oh my god, settle the wreckage. This is why I just can't play these decks. Like, you get to this point, and what do? You attack with one creature, and they just seal away it. If you attack with two, they settle you. And you just want to, like, stop playing Magic. Yeah. And, like, if we don't attack with all our creatures and they have Fumigate, we feel really stupid as well. I think I just have to attack with these two. I can't afford to attack with more stuff than this into a settle. But obviously it's not great for us if they just have a seal away or if they play like land Fumigate. This probably means they're going to Glimmer end of turn and cast a Fumigate. That's the other thing by like not attacking with very much, you let them Glimmer as well. It's all so awkward. The control tools at the moment are like really strong. He's no Fumigate. Yeah, this game's probably over. Like, if we attack with everything, we force them to use answers to make their Fumigate worse, but most decks are running more settles than Fumigates. And like, if they have a settle the wreckage there, we just lose anyway. I guess it's better to have the mana, so that makes Ballista scarier, but rather than them having extra life. Yeah. Okay, if this doesn't find something good, I'm gonna scoop, I think. This game's like really close to over. Right, please just counter this so I can move on with my life. Alright. Resolve our Ballista. Go to hit for 1. I'm gonna keep playing since our Ballista resolved. We get to ping our opponent down to like 4 if they kill the Ballista. But the odds are certainly not in our favour at the moment. With the search online. That is a Teferi. We have the answer to Teferi with this Vraska's Contempt. Okay. Yeah, Vraska seems pretty well positioned with all these white decks around, playing Cast Out and COA for sure. There's like a lot of that stuff in the format at the moment. Yeah, having a bunch of Fumigates and Settles does just mean Carnage Tyrant does nothing. This game is over. Probably was over when they fumigated us, but it's definitely over now. Right. Duresses can get into the deck. Fatal Push and Llanowar Elves can leave the deck. We're also going to cut a land. Can bring in some Scroungers and some Brontodons. Is there room for like... Thanks for the bits, Lexi. I appreciate it. Also, you're now top of the leaderboard in the Vicious Bit War. I guess I cut like 2 Chupacabras, right? I do something like this. I need like some of these to answer Lyra, but I don't want to go overboard on this sort of effect. You know, this boarding seems kind of ideal. Dethroned. Oh my god. Okay, this hand does stuff. It's very threat dense. We don't have any interaction. We do have a lot of decent creatures, which is nice. I guess I just cast the Siphoner. I could cast the Constrictor first, but getting this in under counter magic seems pretty good. And then if they like seal this away, we can cast a replacement potentially. Cast down, sure. Okay. Duress is nice. Disallow, Fumigate, Glimmer. Huh. So I don't care about the disallow. So it's either the Fumigate or the Glimmer. Because the disallow I can just cast my Scrap Heap into it, so it doesn't really do anything. A bit of me just wants to take the Fumigate since it's the problematic card. But they're also like on a mulligan. I think they need the Glimmer to recover from the mulligan and find their white source and stuff. We can play around the Fumigate to an extent. I'm going to take the Glimmer. Yeah, I think I agree with taking the Glimmer there. We can play our Siphoner. Get to draw a card next turn. Awesome. So, I guess I'll probably cast Scrounger and attack for 2 and call that my turn. If they, for whatever reason, counter the Scrounger, they're just not going to counter the Scrounger, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm just going to cast this. I don't want to run my Snake into the disallow this turn. And getting free power in play seems pretty good to me. Awesome. So we get to attack for 2 and get our tap land down. And then we can like potentially double spell at some point if we want. Or even like play a spell, hold up mana to bring back Scrounger. After a Fumigate. Alright, they've played the cards we know about. So yes, we just attack for 5 here. It's kind of an awkward position. I guess I don't really need to apply more pressure on this board. I could just cast the Brontodon though. Like, if they just have a seal away or cast out at the end of turn, I've only got the 1 creature hitting in. And then I'm really soft to Teferi. So I think I meant to cast the Brontodon. You'd hold. Like, if they go white land Fumigate, I can bring back my Scrounger and cast the Constrictor, so it's not the end of the world. I'm just a bit worried if they go, like, removal spell into Teferi, or, like, Teferi hold up removal spell. We just can't deal with Teferi then. Really? We're just going to lose to it. I think I need to cast 1 more creature. Yeah, it's a very hard problem for sure, Nucleo. It's one of the problems of playing this sort of deck against control at the moment. I think we're just going to pass the turn here. If they Fumigate, I can bring back Scrounger. If they Teferi, they can't keep Teferi alive unless they also have a COA, because they've already used up their mana for this turn. Seems fine to me. They also need to have the white land for the Fumigate in the first place. Yep, it is nice, Nucleo. The fact we can bring back Scrounger if they Fumigate's very nice for us. And we get to draw a card. Another Constrictor. I'm going to cast this. I want to get the extra energy anyway. Their missing land drops is very good for us, yeah. As long as we keep casting stuff they have to tap mana on. 4, they can't cast Glimmer either. Right, I'm going to attack for 5 here. I wanted to play the Constrictor to get the extra energy, so we'd threaten to keep drawing cards. Then I think I'm just passing the turn again, so I don't overextend into Fumigate anymore. Like, if they don't Fumigate, my board's great, and if they do Fumigate, I can bring back the Scrounger, which is nice. Glacial Fortress, Fumigate incoming. Yeah. Right, let's bring back our Scrounger. Scrounger is gas. Ooh, this is pretty gas too. Right about now. I could have played the Constrictor first, I guess. I don't know how much more I even want to overextend into a Fumigate though is the problem. So I think just playing out the Jade Light on its own is fine. That way we get to hold up Scrounger return again. And then next turn we can Duress before we do anything else. So I think casting that without the Constrictor in play is fine. It's threatening enough as a 4/3 anyway. With them on 8. It's not like it needs the extra counters. And overextending into another Fumigate just sounds really bad. This is a Lyra. Jeez. Oh boy. Like, we left in 4 removal spells for her, but we haven't drawn any, so we're probably in a bad spot here. We have the Ifna Deadlands to make her smaller, at least. Let's Duress and see what's going on. I've got 2 Chupacabras and 2 Contempts left in my deck to deal with Lyra. Oh my god. Okay. So I think I take the Fumigate and make Lyra down to a 3/3. With the Deadlands. Then they can't really start attacking because we race them back. And we kind of just have to start casting stuff into the disallows then, which sucks, but I think that's the plan. Like, obviously we can just cast both of these before they can have disallow up. It means they can disallow the Deadlands. Maybe that's fine. Like, they'd hit us for 5, but we'd have like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 power in play. Maybe we just have to cast all that stuff. And then they can't attack with Lyra. And they're going to disallow the Deadlands, but that's fine. Yeah, I think we just have to do this, sadly. It's just so awkward because, like, as long as this is a 3/3, every Brontodon is a threat they have to counter, which gets us through the disallows a lot quicker. I think I prefer this. This game's going to go on for a while. Not convinced we can actually win it, but if we do, I think it's going to be partially because they have to counter our Brontodons, because our Brontodons can attack through Lyra. Alright, another Scrounger, sure. So they have 2 disallows and a mystery card. Like, eventually we can just go around Lyra, but that's going to be a while. I'm going to cast Scrounger and Constrictor this turn. And we can cast Brontodon next turn. Probably eats a disallow. It doesn't actually do anything on its own at the moment, so it's not definite that it eats one. Yep. I guess I cast this. They don't get to use their mana this turn, because they're not going to counter this. And we get to start going wide. Threaten to swing around Lyra eventually. Like, at the moment, an attack would put them to 5 if we were to attack with all next turn. Obviously having to hope they don't draw too many spells. And we're having to hope that we draw a lot, but this is giving us kind of a chance. Ooh, Adventurous Impulse. Okay. I'm going to cast my 3/4, I guess. And they're probably going to counter it. If I attack with everything, they block this and they take 8 but gain 3, so they go to 3. I think that's pretty bad at the moment. I'm just going to cast my 3/4 and they're going to counter it because it can attack through Lyra. So they don't want it in play. Yep. Cast my Adventurous Impulse. Ooh. These are good cards. I don't know which of these creatures I want. Like, whichever one we take is probably going to trade with a disallow, which is sad. Kind of want to take the Ballista though. Feel like the Ballista's more threatening than the Glint Sleeve Siphoner, with our opponent on the 8 and us having a Constrictor in play. I'm just going to pass the turn back. Attacking is bad at the moment. I need to get more water at some point. Probably after this league is done. Before we fire up Blue-White Flash. Please not Teferi. Oh my god. That's a strong card. That is a very strong card. This game is now feeling kind of over. Yes, if we draw another good spell to cast alongside the Ballista next turn, we might have a chance. If we draw like another Ballista, that would be ideal. Even a Duress might let us resolve it. I have no idea, Ace Nate. I've pronounced it as Teferi forever, I don't know why. I think I prefer like the softer vowel sounds, but I don't know if it's actually correct. Could believe that it isn't. So we attack with everything and they only take 5, so I guess I just cast my Ranger here. I guess we can kill Teferi if we attack with everything, huh? Sure. So gaining extra energy. Cast my Ballista, because if they counter it, they don't have Settle up. I don't know if I'm attacking them or the Planeswalker. Obviously neither of the attacks are particularly exciting. Think I'm gonna jam everything at Teferi. They can eat my Jade. I guess they can eat my Snake in this case. Then Teferi dies. Maybe we don't have to attack with everything. We can just attack with these and Teferi dies. If they have a 1 mana removal spell, Teferi gets to live, but if they have a 1 mana removal spell, I think we're in a really bad spot regardless. And if this attack gets through and then we can fade a draw step, then next turn the Verdurous Gearhulk might be capable of ending the game alongside the Constrictor. I think I like this. Have to hope to fade a cheap removal spell, but otherwise I think this is good. Awesome. Right, now we're just hoping the Gearhulk resolves, and that they don't have anything too good in hand. If both those things happen, we can actually win this game somehow. Oh my god, they have another Fumigate. Maybe they figure they're not going to have good blocks. Maybe they have Settle as well. They could also have Settle. Regardless, this attack is really bad news for us. So it means they likely have a White Sweeper. Or another Lyra, and they wanted to give Vigilance to like have as much life as possible. That makes sense. Awesome. So we're playing with fully known information now. So I'm as if I Gearhulk put 2 counters on all of these and attack with everything. They block Jade Light. We get in for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But they gain a bunch as well. The other option is we make both of these freaking huge, so that they eat the Lyra in combat. If we put 2 counters on each, then they actually get 3 counters, and they both end up as X6s, which means they both get to attack into Lyra. So I'm going to do that. I think that is our best option. We do this. They're both X6s, so they can both attack into Lyra. If they don't block, they go to 2. Which means even with like a single removal spell, they die next turn. So they need a Settle or a Sweeper or something. Jeez. The fact we won that game is kind of unreal. Like, opponent had to brick off a lot, and obviously we managed not to draw many lands, which is good for us, but even then. Okay. I think I want more Chupacabras. I'm kind of scared of that Angel. Kind of terrified of that Angel. I don't really want to cut any more lands. I feel like I'd rather have more lands than just trim on these. Which is really just implying that like this plan is not the best way to build this deck. It's really what it's implying. Yeah, I think the bug versions playing Servant of the Conduit instead of Llanowar Elves are probably still much better than this. I think Llanowar Elves does not really do much for this deck at all. Alright, opponent. Game 3. We're playing for the 3-2. This matchup seems kind of tough, but we have a decent shot. I really hate these hands. It's like if you're on 6 cards and you got rid of one of these lands, you'd probably have to keep. But on 7, you're just like so sad to be keeping this sort of hand. I feel like we probably have to keep it. Obviously, we're really at risk of flooding out. It's like if you remove one of these forests from the equation, we keep this on 6. Obviously, you get a scry in that situation, and you're like partially evaluating like the upside of not having to go to 5. But I don't know. This hand feels really close. All right. Yep, that is the fear. Ether Hub is the fear. That we just like draw lands with our 5-lander, which like isn't even something you can complain about. It's just like part of keeping a 5-lander, right? And this is like another upside of the Sultai version. You get to play Fetid Pools. Having cycle lands in your deck is just so amazing. You believe 6 of a scry is closer to 7 than most people believe? That's fair. I think it's like really marginal. I think mulliganing is very reasonable. I mulligan a lot less than most people. I could see it being incorrect not mulliganing here. And like the deck has a few cards that help you recover from mulligans pretty well as well. Between Siphoner and Jade Light. And ways to find them with Impulse. Yeah, that makes sense, Captain. I'm like the least aggressive mulliganer ever. It's actually kind of a problem. Opponent. I'm kind of excited to play some more Blue-White Flash after this. I've been adoring that deck. It's actually able to fight against these control decks pretty well as well. Yeah, Champion can help filter away as well. Although I think a lot of like the Snake Sultai lists don't play Champion. But the fact that you have access to just tools to help grind is really nice. Does that have Wrath? It does. It has Wrath, Lyra, Teferi, Merfolk Trickster, History of Benalia. It's pretty great. We went 4-1 with it on stream yesterday, and I'm kind of in love with it. I'd be almost a bit surprised if I don't play it at the GP in a couple weeks. But I want to try out other stuff too, just to get a feel for the format and what feels good. So far, the impression I've got is that control decks feel really good. Or just anything with like counter spells and wraths, really. Like Lyra helps you beat up on red really well. And cards like Settle the Wreckage and Fumigate help against like the mono green decks and like this sort of deck. Really just any deck with green cards in gets beat up by the sweeper plan. I've also got the impression that vehicles is quite good. I need to try out some vehicles lists at some point. You won't be playing the standard GP. That's the hope. That is the hope. I would very much like to be crushing the Legacy GP. Probably playing Bug Control. I'm kind of curious to see what I end up sticking on, but I'm quite enjoying Bug Control. Oh yeah, Urza's Ruinous Blast is like surprisingly good. I need to try out some lists with it in. But like, from what I've seen and heard of it, I've been impressed. You tried to improvise yet? I have not. I'd like to try improvise at some point. It's kind of awkward. I hated the old improvise lists so much from like the last couple formats. I thought they were just really underpowered, but I could see Khan just making all the difference. Khan and the Saga both give those decks actual closing power, which is something they really lacked beforehand. Natural Order, Voice of a Ketra, the only... Oh my god. That is not happening, Phil. I do want to play that deck on stream without a Ketra, but chances of me playing a GP are very low. Right, so I get to play this pre-combat. Yes, I cast my Siphoner. Probably just gets countered. Maybe I just cast my Jade Light Ranger, since my Siphoner's only going to get countered anyway, and this is like a big threat with the Constrictor. Yeah. I think I'm going to attack. Mostly it means I can get sealed away, but whatever. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Loki. I think I agree you need the enchantment. You also need negates. If there are all these control decks around, you need counter magic in your board, which this deck doesn't get access to. Counter magic is just so good in general at the moment. I guess we have to pressure them on like limiter, and I'm going to cast the... I'm going to attack with my Constrictor, and then I'm probably post-combat casting the Brontodon to kill the Search. Just get the Search off the boards as soon as possible. I could also just cast a Siphoner because it's more threatening. I kind of like how this is better against Fumigate though, if it resolves. We can just like leave it on board attacking them, and when they deal with it we can kill their Search. Like, keep their Search hostage. Yeah. That makes sense, Captain. I still feel like Negate's such a good card though. But maybe you're just right. I'm going to pass the turn. They get some value off the Search triggers, but we get some value of like Brontodon attacks, which is really nice. And as soon as they try and Fumigate this away, we get to kill their Search, as long as we just leave up a mana forever. So I think this Brontodon's just going to sit and play for a little while. Alright. Let's just attack 5. If they settle us, we can sack the Brontodon. So we don't really care about settle here too much. Cast out. Okay. Targeting the Brontodon. Oh my god, this 2-for-1. 2-for-1 hype. Best Brontodon I have ever seen. You always feel like, yeah, Duress is good. It's just, I just feel like only having 4 pieces of interaction with control is so awkward though. Like, I feel like you need more than 4 duress to like fight against these decks. Even if the duresses are decent. Get to draw a card. Hey, that is an amazing draw. They can't syncopate it anyway, but I guess I just play out a land here. Cast my duress. You could understand Spell Pierce? Yeah, Spell Pierce seems good as well. I really like Spell Pierce. Glimmering in response. That's pretty decent for us. It means we get to see what's left in their hand afterwards. May leave top and top. Scary. Fumigate, settle, Teferi, disallow. Oh my god, they get to Teferi with disallow up. Maybe we just have to take the Teferi here. Like, we can contempt it, but they just get to disallow our contempt. If they draw a land, they get to have settle up to protect Teferi as well. We can kind of play through the wrath effects. I feel like I just have to take Teferi. Teferi's just going to take over the game. I guess if they cast Teferi, we can just hold up Contempt this turn. And Contempt Teferi before their end step. So before the untap. I guess that works out. Yeah, we can contempt the... Oh, if we take disallow, we can contempt the Teferi. That makes sense, Phil. I'm not sure we care about the disallow very much, except for the fact it protects Teferi, though. I think we'd rather take the Teferi than the disallow if we were taking the disallow. I think the 2 options are Fumigate or Teferi. I don't think the other cards are a consideration. I kind of like taking the Fumigate though. And then just hold up mana to exile Teferi. I think this is decent for us. It's not like we really need to deploy another Siphoner this turn anyway, since we don't draw a card off it next turn. Cool, they're just passing the turn. Pretty good for us. We have to draw a card. You think you would take the disallow because then you get to take their interaction? I think taking the Fumigate's fine. It means they can actually deploy more than 1 threat to the board. Like, I guess this is pretty threatening on its own anyway, but I'm going to attack. If they settle it, we can cast our second one. Alright, they didn't settle it. Could still just cast this. If it resolves, I get the second energy to draw a card next turn. I think that's fine. Also means they can't go Teferi minus on our Siphoner if they let this resolve. This probably eats a disallow. Okay, we get the energy. Does this mean they drew another Fumigate just to make us feel awful? This is like the spot in the game where I love negate. Just affords you a lot of flexibility that we don't really have. We just have creatures and just have creatures basically. Creatures and sorceries. Yeah, that makes sense, Loki. Did they go? They went bottom. Okay, that's encouraging. Might have hit a bunch of lands. Ooh, because we played out the Deadlands, they can kill it with their Field of Ruin at some point. Gross. You imagine they'll play a Walking Ballista just to annoy me? That would annoy me, Phil. Yeah, for sure, Nucleo. I agree. I agree with you. This is a good one. I'm going to attack with my Siphoner here, I think. I don't want them knowing the info off the Impulse before this. Like, I want them to commit to the Settle before having the info, since it means they can't disallow. And they don't know that we're drawing a card next turn because of the Ether Hub, so this is a pretty good attack for us. Jeez, that's kind of sad. God. Next turn, if they have a land, they get to cast Teferi with Disallow up. And then we probably can't win the game. Thank God, it's a tap land. Right, we need something really good this turn. Something really, really good. We need to get the Disallow out of their hand, right? We need to get the Disallow out of their hand. Can we win on time? Yeah, we'll win in time. Oh, win on time? I don't think that's gonna happen, Phil. It would make me look really bad for not making them play out game 1 though. I conceded game 1 really early on. Yes, I'm just gonna cast this Gearhawk. I guess I can cast the Jade Light first. I don't want to like overextend to a Fumigate, but I don't think I'm beating a Fumigate this game. I don't think I'm beating a Fumigate this game. Oh wow, Essence Scatter, okay. So we now know their entire hand. We now know their entire hand. We know they have Settle, Teferi, Disallow. So I guess I just cast my Gearhawk. They counter it, I get to attack cleanly. Okay, they did not counter it. They're saving the counter to protect Teferi. Makes sense. They're going to have Settle up to protect Teferi too. Oh my god, I don't know how I win this. This is just like the hard luck. Thanks for that host, Dave. To everyone joining us, we're finishing off our league with Black-Green Constrictor, and then we're going to be playing some Blue-White Flash afterwards, which I think is what Dave was just playing for y'all. I don't think there's any line for us to get out of this. We kind of have to hope to draw like a Duress next turn almost. I guess if we draw Duress, we can kind of get out of this. So I have to like get my energy off my Siphoner on the attack. I'm going to do something like this. They're probably going to settle the Siphoner, but if they don't, then like we can draw Ballista to kill their Teferi potentially. Down on time. Yeah, I don't think that matters too much. I don't think it's going to come down to time at all. Welcome to everyone joining us. Yep, so we get settled, that's fine. And then they're just going to minus Teferi on the Gearhawk. But if we can draw another spell here, another powerful spell to pair with the Contempt, then we might be able to overwhelm their Disallow to deal with the Teferi, and then we get to keep playing. And if that doesn't happen, we get to go play Blue-White Flash and never speak of Winding Constrictor ever again. Right, here comes the Teferi. Probably minusing on our Gearhulk. Yep. So we need a really strong spell here, like a Ballista or another Contempt. Duress. That's what we needed. And take their Disallow. Oh my god, they have a search for Azcanta. I mean, we have to take the Disallow. We have to get rid of this Teferi, but search is going to be really hard for us to beat. Yeah, search is a really strong one, Nuclear. Is this, how far down is it? It's third from the top, so we're not drawing the Gearhulk this turn. Another Duress, right? I guess I hold that and pass the turn. And the next turn I can play it before my Gearhulk. Make sure my Gearhulk doesn't get countered. They do have to kill us in time. Oh, they're shuffling away the Gearhulk. That is smart. They do have to kill us in time. Me conceding game 1 really early is looking rough now. Like, I conceded game 1 when it looked like we couldn't possibly win. But opponent didn't actually have a clock on me. I just didn't really want to, like, sit around being miserable. The mandatory shuffle of the field is still weird. It's pretty strange, yeah. Right, let's duress them now. Seal and settle. Neither of those really matter, I guess. I guess I'd rather draw a land, so I'm going to take the seal. Because we're probably only ever attacking with one creature at a time from now on anyway, since we're top decking. Get to draw a card off our Siphoner. You have to kill us in time as well as dealing with our stuff. You've had a cast out, so they can get rid of our Siphoner here. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, just gonna pass the turn back. Yep. Just need them to not draw a Gearhulk or something like that that actually ends the game quickly. Okay. Yes, our snake is dying. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm just gonna cast this now. I'm going to cast down this, but that's fine. I have a minute and a half to finish this. And they're spending so much time on this Azcanta activation. Oh my god. This is great for us. Sure. I guess we're using loads of time on the Ballista, but whatever. Oh my god. Another Ballista could kill them if they don't have another counter in hand. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm so excited. This is great. I'm gonna play around Supreme Will. Come on, come on, come on. I need this. That's a fatal push, that does not do it. I guess if they have 2 disallows, but they'd have countered the Walking Ballista, right? They'd have countered the Walking Ballista. Oh my god! Yes! Oh, that makes me so happy. We had no right winning that game. They had Azcanta live for like 5 turns. Oh my god. That was a good finish. I'm gonna open the treasure chest. I earned that treasure chest. Absolutely opening the treasure chest. Oh my god, we got an Avatar and an Ajani Vengeant, apparently. Alright. The Avatar's kind of nice, though. Didn't win that, haven't had that one before. Winning the red zone yet again. I sure do. So, this deck felt fine. I'm not convinced Llanowar Elves is actually that good in this deck. We boarded it out almost every match. Like, your curve is like mono 2s to start with, and the 3s aren't like that exciting to get down on turn 2. Like, casting a turn 2 Rushcroft Llanowar Elves isn't even that impressive if you don't have a Gearhulk for turn 3. So I'm not in love with this card. The Adventurous Impulses were pretty nice though. They got us like the combination of Constrictor plus Ballista together more often, which I really liked. I suspect you just have to play Bug though. I suspect Hidana's Climb is just much better than this like Llanowar Elf nonsense. So I imagine most lists should be Bug instead. You also get Negates. There are loads of control decks running around at the moment, so I think Negates seem really appealing as well.